Kim Woojin, ranked 4th in the world, was #1 a year ago. And Gael Prevost of France, the 7th seed, 11th in the world, although he has been ranked as high as 9th in the world standings.
Of course, Kim is, sorry the pun, but reigning world champion as well. So,
pun intended. Kim Woojin, who had a 6-2 win over Larry Godfrey of the UK this morning. So Kim Woojin, who did not get to go to the Olympics, even though he defeated Kim Woojin, his teammate, in Turkey at stage 2 and took the bronze medal there. He did not go to the Olympics. So this is his Olympics, I would imagine.
This is his. He's had to sit at home for the last few months, watching world events unfold and not been able to take part in them. But this is his chance to end the season on a high. But I must admit, after this morning's performances, I fancy the Frenchman. I think he's on good form. Gael Prevost looks really good. Technique really smooth. He's just so steady and consistent. I sort of fancy his chances. I think he's got a good chance.
He had a very convincing victory. Gael Prevost did this morning, 7-1 against Dmytro Rachov of the Ukraine. And that is what has vaulted him here into this semifinal match against Kim Woojin, whose only World Cup medal was in 2010 at stage 3 in Croatia, but he'll get a medal today. The question is, which color?
Well, that was a solid start, if not a perfect one. But that is pretty close to a perfect start.
So the teenager from France goes ahead 10-9. Once again, we're shooting 5 sets maximum.
Moving the sight. 2 good shots right next to each other, not in the middle. Time to reach forward and give your side a few little clicks.
Same hold true for Gael Prevost after that shot.
Maybe. I've got a feeling though that might have been a less than perfect shot, considering his first one nearly took out the X, much like that one.
It's interesting because Prevost was not outside the yellow rings at all in his quarterfinal match this morning.
Very true.
And here he's already shot a 7, and with no chance to win this set, comes up with a pretty good score on his final shot. However, not enough. That 7 sealed his fate and allows Kim Woojin to win the first set and take the lead at 2-0. So 9-9-10 for Kim Woojin of Korea. Overall, he's won 6 World Cup medals, including an individual gold medal at stage 3 in Ogden 2 years ago, and has been competing internationally at this level since 2009. He's facing the 18-year-old from France, Gael Prevost, who had a 10 and a 9 sandwiched around the 7.
Yeah, that was very uncharacteristic. The other 2 shots look great. So there's no reason to think he's not going to come back from this and deliver some more of the performance of the world-class type that we saw this morning.
Prevost, a very clutch performer last year at the World Cup Finals, finished 4th in Istanbul, and this year had to defeat Tarundeep Rai of India to claim a berth in these World Cup Finals, and was able to come through and do that. Starts off strong.
He certainly does.
Bit of a surprise from Woojin.
So he just comes smooth onto his face, keeps extending, and then just excellent execution.
And kept extending back after he had released the shot.
Absolutely, just because we have a device on the front of the arrow called a clicker, which you might just be able to see there, and when that falls off the front of the arrow, you release the string, but you don't want to open up your fingers. You just want to relax your fingers and let the string slip out. And because your back muscles are still pulling back, that's why we see what we had called follow-through. The release fingers just come back around the side of the neck, and the smoother and more controlled you can do that, the better.
Wow. So an opportunity here for Kim Woojin if he can score a 10. He does, and they'll split the set points. And so a good opportunity for Gael Prevost goes by the wayside as he'll have to settle for splitting that set, picking up 1 point, and now trails 3-1. And after shooting an 8 to start that set, Kim Woojin's got to be pleased.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Damage limitation. If you can dig yourself out of a hole like that, that's always good for the self-confidence.
So Kim Woojin, the #1 archer in recurve a year ago, now ranked #4 in the world, trying to get to the gold medal match and take on #1 this year, Brady Ellison.
You think if Kim Woojin was in pretty much any other country, he'd be quite a superstar, and instead he didn't even make his Olympic team. That's the pros and cons of being an archer in Korea. You're amongst the best in the world, but to make your own national team is so incredibly tough.
You basically have to live, eat, and breathe archery.
Totally, that's all they do, all they do.
And if you're going to compete against those people, then you need to do the same.
Yep. And most of the young archers coming through today and on the world archery scene, they're all from what we call residential programs, where the athletes all live together in one venue next to the shooting range and have a full-time coach. They still do their education, of course, but they spend many hours together on the shooting range. And it's important that you train together, I think, because you each drive each other on. You've got someone else there always challenging you, and that's a system that my own country seems to be moving towards very rapidly.
Tough shot for Gael Prevost.
He's not quite reproducing his form from this morning, is he?
No, not the consistency. Seems as though in each set he's had 2 good shots and 1 shot he'd like to take back.
Very much so. And sadly, in this sport, they've not let us do that yet.
No mulligans, huh?
If only we could take a few back and just try again.
Nice shot right there. Sandwiches an 8 with 2 9s around it. But right now, all Kim Woojin needs, well, he gets the 10, and that's more than what he needed to take this set and take a commanding 5-1 lead. But again, I know this is repetitive. We've said it before. All is not lost necessarily for Gael Prevost.
Not on this set system. We keep saying it because we mean it. He can find that form again, stop dropping the stray arrows. There's no reason he can't pull this back to 5-all and then take it on a 1-arrow shoot-off. So still everything to play for. He knows that. His coach knows that. That's probably the type of thing his coach is now telling him, just reminding him what he's here to do. Just focus on the shot. Don't worry about your opponent, and just make the best of each possible shot.
And of course, we saw just moments ago in the women's semifinals, it was Choi Hyeonju who came from 4-point deficit back.
Very true.
And sent her match to a shoot-off with Kibo Bay. Was not able to finish it off, but got it to a shoot-off.
She still took it to within having a fighting chance. So let's see if he can change his fortunes around.
We'll see how much fight is in the Frenchman. I'd say plenty.
They're going to call that in? I think that was in, but that's a very close one. What does Falcon Eye say? No need for laser precision on that one.
No debate about that. A 9. And they will score the shot for Prevost as a 10.
Okay. He gets the upper hand. Another line
Now, will that be on the line?
Okay, they're calling it in. I was going to call that one out, but there we go. I don't have lasers for eyes. Falcon Eye does.
Yeah, with a heart rate of 72 beats per minute, Kim Woojin scores a 10. Might get his heart rate up a little bit. We're tied at 19 all.
Little bit of a shiver and a shake there.
Oh,
not that it mattered.
But it works. However, a bullseye right here, and Kim Woojin is into the gold medal match. Instead, it's a 9, and Prevost prevails.
Let's keep going. Much to the smile of the French coach.
So Kim Woojin had a chance if he'd found the center ring to win this match. Instead, the score goes to 5-3 overall, and Gael Prevost is given new life and another opportunity. If he can win the next set, he'll tie it up at 5-all, and again we'll be headed for our second shoot-off.
Well, I'm not biased. I don't mean mind which one of these great archers win, but I do like having a one-arrow shoot-off. It's always good fun. As the coaches hold their umbrella. I've been in both situations, both as an archer and standing there as a coach, and oh, I was tempted to think being a coach is the tougher one because you feel so helpless. What can you do? You can say a few supportive words, maybe a little bit of guidance, but often at this level, you're not here to do the coaching. You're here just to try and keep your athlete in the right frame of mind, and you just feel hopeless standing there. You'd prefer to be doing something. But holding an umbrella is pretty much
that's
all
a
you can
vital
do.
function today.
It is today.
So we're all set for the 5th set. Here are the World Cup Finals in Tokyo. The men's semifinals. The first semifinal already decided. Brady Ellison will be in the gold medal match. Now he's waiting to find out whom he shall face. And it's a 9 for Gael Prevost.
A little bit low, but it's in.
Very confident looking Kim Woojin. But the shot off the mark.
Not what he had in mind.
So advantage Prevost.
Wow.
Dead center.
Now this is what we've come to expect from the Frenchman. Pinpoint accuracy. And that's not too shabby either. So Gael's taken 1 point advantage into the last shot.
A 10 right here. Ooh, he gets a 9.
Okay. So Kim gets 10.
And he's in the gold medal match.
He's in the gold medal. Match. Doesn't shoot off indeed.
It's a shoot off as he scores the 9, and Gael Prevost prevails again. So once again, we have seen someone fall behind by 4 points and come storming back. Earlier, it was Choi Hyeonju who fell behind 4-0. In this match, it was Gael Prevost who trailed Kim Woojin 5-1 after 3 sets. But Prevost wins the next 2. We're tied at 5. And we are headed for the shoot-off. 1 arrow to decide the match. And it all comes down to this.
It might come down to a judge and a measuring stick.
It did yesterday for
Closest.
Jamie Van Atta.
It did. As long as they can measure a difference, the closest will be awarded. If it's, we've had it just a couple of times, if the judge truly cannot decide who is closest to the cross, the athletes shoot again. But literally in world archery, that has only happened a couple of times.
Yesterday, Jamie Van Atta in her quarterfinal match was paired up against Christina Berger of Germany. It was tied at 142 all, went to the shoot-off. Christina had a 10, and so did Jamie Van Atta, and it was just decided by millimeters in favor of Jamie Van Atta, who went on to win the gold medal. And now is going to take the prize money and build a fence in her backyard, I understand.
Wow, that's going to be some gold-plated fence, I think. Then again, I have no idea how big her backyard
That's
is. That's
true. That's true.
So I'll keep that opinion to myself.
Vinyl or wood, it makes a difference. And again, some more house cleaning here in Tokyo as the crew soldiering on under adverse weather conditions to bring you these pictures, the sights, the sounds.
They're doing a great job because, yeah, it's just raining from start to finish.
Great weather for the ducks. Not so much for archers and TV cameramen.
But you can see it's not affecting the archer's ability. Yes, they might be wet. Yes, they might be uncomfortable, but there's no reason they still can't produce absolute world-class performances.
As you've said before, better to shoot in the rain than in the wind.
Yeah, in the wind, because it's not so much, people think it's always the wind moving the arrow when you shoot, but that's, you can often manage with that. The actual problem is the wind blowing you around, so you can hardly hold your sight on the target, let alone have the couple of seconds it's needed just to steady down and pull through your clicker. So, yeah, I'll take the rain anytime, and I'm sure most of these athletes would as well.
So here we go. It all comes down to one shot.
See, just giving a little twang of the bow. You see the water come off. That's just to try and dry the bow. Make sure there's not too much water to slow the limbs down. Kim to go first.
A 9. So a great opportunity for Prevost to pull it off.
It's a good 9, though. It's a good 9.
10 beats a 9.
It does.
And it's a 9. Now who has the better 9?
I think Kim does. But let me see if we can get a split target view and just see. Pretty sure Kim's was closer. For the archers, just wait for confirmation.
Woojin opened the door, but Gael Prevost could not come through, and it is signaled. There is the victor on the target number 1, and that will be Kim Woojin. And Kim Woojin shoots a 9, Gael Prevost shoots a 9, and Kim Woojin able to exhale just a little bit and breathe a sigh of relief as he had dropped a 5-1 lead, was taken to the shoot-off, shot a 9, and had to believe as though he was in deep, deep trouble, but Gael Prevost unable to put him away. And as the result, Kim Woojin will move on to the gold medal match to face Brady Ellison of the United States.
That'll be a great match. And also for Gael Prevost, he can't knock himself for that performance. Yeah, he had a shaky start, but it shows great character to be able to come back from 5-1 down. And that arrow, that shot in the 1 arrow shoot off, well, that was a good 9.